most ridiculous moments on Divorce Court.
I told him I'd be right back. I didn't give him a specific time, but I did say I'll be back. Just
And you
me
took
in
the Toyota with you when you left?
Yes.
I still had the truck.
He can't drive anyway. He can't see.
Well,
Can you see me? He can't see.
Let's talk about how cheap he is.
Oh, okay. One day I wanted Jamba Juice and it was like $5. He couldn't afford to get it for me.
It's like, if I can afford it and it's in the budget, then I'll go ahead and do it for her, whether I have it or not.
Nothing up against all odds. This man has a battle on his hands. Not just with his beloved car, but also with his marriage. What's under the hood of this divorce case? Was it the car that drove them apart? Whoa, hold up! Did she seriously just drop a bombshell and reveal that the reason for their divorce was because he was too nice? Say what? I mean, who knew being too kind could actually be a relationship deal breaker? Talk about a jaw-dropping moment that left everyone in stitches. Can you relate to this crazy scenario? Or is it just us?
Why don't you tell me what was wonderful about it?
We were like best friends. I believe, he's my soulmate. Everything was fine except he was too nice.
How does one be too nice to one's wife?
He was too nice, like it was scary nice.
Can being too nice actually become a problem? Hold on to your seats, folks, because the way she broke it down, it looks like the root of the issue might be with the wife, not the hubby. I mean, come on, if 5 whole years passed without a single punch, why would a simple "I love you" trigger her alarm bells about potential violence? Let's unpack this and find out.
It was like stalkerish nice, like you too nice, it's too
Give
good
me an
to
example,
be true.
'cause
He would say, "I love you," and I was like, okay, I was waiting for the punch. You could be nice, but you could be
Mrs.
too
Lucas,
nice.
you're gonna have to do better than that. I love you is too much for you.
It's not too much, but you don't have to tell me like twice a week.
Brace yourselves, because the husband in this story has no idea about his wife's career. Can you believe it? And you know what? It's totally understandable if he's a bit ticked off. I mean, who wouldn't be frustrated if they couldn't even begin to comprehend what their significant other does for a living? To make matters worse, when Lucas tried to get some clarity, his wife kept dodging the question with lame excuses. Girl, avoiding the topic altogether is not the way to go.
She took on a career you didn't know about.
I've been out here doing the best I can to get recognition as a comic for almost 17 years. And so after she leaves me, a mutual friend tells me that he saw her in a comedy club on stage. I mean, I don't have a problem with that, but she never shared this with me at all.
You won't believe what just came to light. After a whole year of keeping it hush-hush, she finally spilled the beans to her hubby in court. Can you believe she never told him about her secret gig? But get this, she's complaining about not getting enough quality time with her man, yet she's out there leaving her little ones with the older sibling to perform on stage. Now that's what I call a plot twist.
I felt like a hypocrite, and now I see.
You understand his point of view.
I understand, but the difference is he had a wife at home. He didn't have to go to all those unnecessary shows all the time.
But you can go out and not acknowledge that you had a husband and a child at home.
But now I'm a teenage mother.
Get ready for a wild ride, because this couple's car drama is about to unfold. When they stepped into the divorce court, everyone was dying to know why the car was the center of their argument. It turns out that the wife had jetted off to Chicago for some shows and ended up keeping her hubby's car with her, even without a whisper of an update. And to top it off, she had the audacity to justify her car theft by making a tasteless remark about her husband's eyesight. Needless to say, the crowd was not amused, as mocking someone's illness is never okay.
I told him I'd be right back. I didn't give him a specific time, but I did say I'll be back. Just
And you
me
took
in the car.
the Toyota with you when you left?
Yes.
I still had the truck.
He can't drive anyway. He can't see.
Well,
Can you see me?
On what universe do you believe that's funny?
It's not funny, but I mean, he can't drive anyway.
Oh boy, hold on to your seats, because this woman's on a roll. She's been dropping bombshell after bombshell, and the latest news will have you on the edge of your seat. Brace yourself, because we just found out that the car is completely gone, totaled beyond repair. And get this, instead of trying to salvage anything, she just wants to junk it. What is she thinking? Definitely not making the right call, girlfriend. You know how guys are with their cars, they practically treat them like babies. But thankfully, the judge swooped in and made her final decision, telling Rashida to cough up half the cost for the damages. Whew, talk about drama.
You're a wonderful man, and don't let trifling women change who you are. She's self-centered. and only interested in her pleasure and her joy as a result. Judgment in favor of Mr. Lucas in the amount of $2,500.
Get ready to jump out of your seat, because this case has got some serious drama. Katrina stands before the judge and drops a bombshell about her husband's habit of lying. But the biggest whopper of all, he claimed he only had 6 months to live. And brace yourself, because that's exactly why Katrina married him. But wait, it gets even juicier. Emmanuel, her husband, vehemently denies the whole thing. Who's telling the truth? Buckle up, because this case is about to take you on a wild ride.
We was together before,
Right.
and then I just decided that I just didn't want to be bothered with him anymore, that I wanted to just move, take my daughter, and just go. And right before I got ready to move, he came to me and he was like, well, the doctor told me that he had only 6 months to live.
What was wrong with him?
I think it was like prostate cancer or something, but I mean, look at him now.
Get ready to gasp in disbelief as we uncover yet another jaw-dropping lie. Katrina is at work minding her own business when suddenly her husband Emmanuel calls her up and drops a bombshell. He's having a baby. Crazy, right? But wait, there's more. Would you believe that some people actually thought it was just a harmless prank? Unbelievable. So, did Emmanuel have the guts to deny this shocking revelation too? Keep listening to find out.
So I'm like, okay, we get married. Valentine's Day 2007. 3-4 months later, I'm at work. I get a phone call. I have to go to the hospital. I'm like, why you gotta go to the hospital? He was like, my child is being born. I'm like, what? Literally, my child is being, and I'm thinking in my mind, like, he just lied. Why didn't you not tell me this? And he was like, well, if I would have told you, you wouldn't have married me.
Emmanuel has finally won the battle for visitation rights with his daughter. But why is Katrina making it so hard for him? Every little girl needs her dad in her life, and Emmanuel has every right to be a part of his daughter's world. Don't you agree? But wait, there's more. It seems suspicious that Emmanuel refused child support and didn't show interest in custody for the past 2 years. What's really going on here? Stay tuned for updates.
In
Another
2 years,
excuse.
though, have you gone to court and demanded visitation rights?
She don't show.
So they'll give them to you. If the other party doesn't show, you win. That's not how it works.
If hold up, we go. I don't have that kind of money to keep going back and
No,
forth.
he
I'm in
don't want to
school.
go to court because he don't want to pay child support.
Was Katrina's battle in the divorce court all about holding a father to his word? And what possibly could be the value of those $199 that drove her to fight tooth and nail? Let's unravel the mystery together.
My baby told me she threw it away, but she say she lost it. She threw it in the garbage because
I threw it in the garbage.
I bought it.
What's going on?
He said, these things
You
he said, I
guys
threw
are living such a dissolute, dysfunctional, disheartening life. I think you are scandalous.
Get ready to roll your eyes and gasp in disbelief, because we've got another ridiculous divorce case coming your way. And you won't believe the biggest hurdle this couple is facing. Yep, you guessed it. It's the dreaded lack of communication. It's no secret that poor communication can be the nail in the coffin for any relationship, and this one is no exception. Don't you think it's time we start taking communication seriously, folks?
Start with the one that bugs you the most.
The lack of communication,
Okay.
the conversations we have, he always assumes things and he's never on point. And also, if I ask him a question, he doesn't answer it, or it's always a miscommunication.
Oh boy, let me tell you about the tea between Veronica and Samuel. Apparently, one of the things that really got on Veronica's nerves was Samuel's penny-pinching ways. She even claimed that he couldn't even cough up a measly $5 for a drink she wanted. And get this, when the judge grilled Samuel about it, he tried to defend himself by saying that he would have bought it if it was in the budget and affordable. Sounds like Samuel needs a lesson in treating his lady right.
Let's talk about how cheap he is.
Oh, okay. One day I wanted Jamba Juice and it was like $5. He couldn't afford to get it for me.
It's like, if I can afford it and it's in the budget, then I'll go ahead and do it for her. Whether I have it or not, whether it's out of my budget, things I want to get, I put her first.
Let's get real. Does the blame game always have to land on poor Samuel's shoulders? We're dying to hear his take on the Veronica situation. But before we dive in, let's talk about another hot button issue, Samuel's jealousy. Would you freak out if your partner got a jump start from a friendly stranger when their car battery died? Samuel did, and he's not afraid to admit it. But the big question is, was his explanation enough to justify his jealousy? We can't wait to find out.
I'm not allowed to have any male friends, so if my car battery dies, I can't have a male friend who's local to come jump like my battery in a warehouse full of men, and I'll tell him to drop me off on the side because I know he's jealous and the guy's like flirting stuff, and he'll still drop me off in front to make himself jealous.
Samuel's got something juicy to spill about Veronica. And let me tell you, this one's a doozy. You won't believe what he revealed in court about her spending habits. So, we all know that Veronica thinks Samuel's cheap, right? Well, turns out she's the one who's been splurging way too much. And not just on anything, but lingerie. Yeah, you heard that right. When the judge asked how Veronica's decisions were affecting their financial flow, Samuel couldn't help but spill the beans. I mean, seriously, Veronica, who spends that much money on underwear? It's no wonder Samuel's been feeling the pinch lately. Let's be real, that's not exactly the smartest use of money.
I bet she spends too much money.
Yeah, she does.
Why don't you tell me what kind of irresponsible economic decisions she makes?
For one, I never see the same panties or bra on her twice. She must have like a pair of panties for every woman in the Philippines.
Love knows no age, and this couple proved it. Despite the judge pointing out their obvious age difference, their hearts beat as one. When given 90 seconds to profess his love for Veronica, Samuel knocked it out of the park. Find out what he said and prepare to swoon.
Mr. Sanchez, why don't you give me 90 seconds on why this woman right here is the one you want to spend the rest of your life with?
She's been there from me being down, me not being up, my career is starting to change. I want her to be there in my future because she's been there when I was down. I have a 9-year-old daughter and I feel that she'll be a good mom.
Veronica just spilled her heart out to the judge. At first, things didn't look great for her, but boy, did she turn it around. When the judge asked if she truly loved him, Veronica left no doubt in anyone's mind. This girl is head over heels. And get this, she decided at a young age that he was the one she wanted to spend forever with. Talk about a love story for the ages.
Why you think Mr. Sanchez is the only man for you?
I don't feel he's the only man for me, but as of right now,
Not a good start. I just want to say, Ms. Bird, not a good start.
But he's always there for me when I need him. He brings me up when I'm down. He's a good guy.
Love may conquer all, but what about communication? Despite realizing their relationship's rocky communication, did this couple still go through with the marriage license? Fear not, dear listener, for the wise judge imparted them with some incredible advice. Here's hoping they take it to heart and slow down before making any hasty decisions.
So that I have nothing negative to say about you. Now I got this marriage license. I'm gonna slide it on over to you, but I want you to let that sucker expire and get another one 18 months from now if everything is still cool. You with me?
I'm with it.
Good luck to both of you.
Get ready for a wild ride with yet another absurd case of unfulfilled desires. Who among them had their hearts yearning left unsatisfied? Don't miss out on uncovering the juicy details. Our tale begins with Emmanuel, another one, tying the knot with Jaquia at the tender age of 19. The story of their meeting may sound like a fairy tale romance, but what happened next will leave you shocked.
I met my wife about 4 years ago at a train station. She was looking incredible, dressed real nice, office attire, caught my eye. I followed her up the escalators. I told her, a little bit about myself. I admit, I lied, I exaggerated, told her I was in college when I was actually a senior in high school.
Stop the presses! Can you believe it? In just 6 months of dating at the tender age of 19, he managed to knock her up. Talk about a surprise bombshell for the both of them. Why were they not careful about that?
How long were you together before she got pregnant?
About 6 months at the time.
Ms. Howard Brock, is what he told me so far fairly accurate?
Yes.
Why didn't you practice safe sex?
In a relationship with someone, and so I was just dating, and it just kind of happened that way.
Get ready for some truth bombs. Jaquia dropped a major reality check on everyone when she declared that men wrongly assume women are desperate. But let me tell you, she's not the kind of woman who would stick around with someone who doesn't value her or betrays her trust. The judge and the entire room were on the edge of their seats, dying to know what Emmanuel did to make Jaquia believe it. Meanwhile, Emmanuel is desperately trying to salvage their marriage. Brace yourselves, folks. This is about to get juicy.
I don't want to be married to someone who doesn't want to be married to me. I don't want to be married to someone who's cheating on me. I don't want to be married to a person who will, will abandon, the situation that we have. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you.
Apparently, Emmanuel has dreams of becoming a rapper. But could his musical aspirations be the cause of his wife Jaquia's extreme decision to divorce him? The plot thickens, folks. Word on the street is that Jaquia only married Emmanuel because she thought he'd hit it big as a rapper. Could it be true? Or is this just a wild accusation? Stay tuned, because this story's just getting started.
Starting off, when I met her, I was doing plenty of shows. I was on tour with hip-hop legend Curtis Blow. He was showing me the ropes, teaching me everything I needed to know.
Man, he's old school. He was out when I was in college.
But he was, he was teaching me stage presence because he got like one of the best performances, in my opinion, to this day.
It's a wrap. Jaquia has finally called it quits on her relationship and demanded childcare support from her husband, which is completely reasonable, right? The judge saw things her way and ordered Emmanuel to pay up for 6 months. And let's be real, folks, it's time for them to go their separate ways. We're with the judge on this one. It's time to move on and start fresh.
I do pay for childcare. I've always paid for it, and I really haven't been getting a lot of help with being married. So I feel like when we're divorced, I'm really not gonna get no help.
Mr. Sims, you are a man, and you need to behave like a man. And asking for $200 a month for 6 months for childcare is not unreasonable, so I will award her $1,200.